let's go to education. The Texas education system has been declared unconstitutional. So the coming legislature will be called upon to draft a new school finance system. So under each of you, what would that look like?
So school finance, we understand it's a state responsibility, right? The Constitution says that the state shall provide a system of free public school. That's important. We all benefit from a strong public school system, even those folks that don't have children or grandchildren in public schools. We want good citizens, good taxpayers, good leaders, and good workers. And so it's a real problem. We rely, of course, on local property taxes now to fund public schools, and that's just about the worst way we could be doing it. Everyone perceives that property tax is terribly unfair. It punishes you for working hard, for being successful. The legislature did do a modest property tax cut this last time, but not near as much as could be done. We all sense fundamentally that a consumption tax is more fair. The sales tax, everybody pays it, tourists pay it, folks here illegally pay it. Now, to go straight from the school property tax to the sales tax would be a tremendous increase in the sales tax. So that would be difficult to do, but I think that the sales tax is part of the solution. Let me just throw one thing out there. If you look at the budget, we normally do a pretty conservative budget. We have to do it for 2 years out, for the whole state budget. And most budget cycles, 10 out of 12 cycles, we run a surplus because we're pretty conservative, so we plan for more money than we needed. So we have more money come in. Here's the problem, that money gets spent on a lot of things that it shouldn't be spent on. If we took those surpluses and we allowed all of our programs to grow to cover population growth plus inflation, and we took the rest for property tax relief, in 10 to 12 years we could get rid of the property tax that we pay to run our schools, and the state would be doing its job. Now, it's going to take a lot of discipline to get that done, but that's one solution. We all perceive the way we're doing it now is not fair. It's got to be fixed. It's a state responsibility. The state should provide a good basic education for every student, regardless of their zip code. And then if local folks want to do more through local taxes or donations or foundations, they should be able to. It's a state responsibility. It's a broken system. Got to get away from the property tax.
These are very complex questions. I don't think a minute's enough for this, so let's go to 2-minute answers.
The Constitution in Article 7 does require a suitable and equitable provision for free public schools, recognizing that a diffusion of knowledge is essential for the preservation of the liberties and rights of the people. We swear an oath to uphold that. And that's one of the reasons why I've opposed the budget, because in 2011, when we cut public schools by $5 billion, we kept in there $1 billion of corporate welfare. We shouldn't have done that. That is not constitutionally required, but our public education system is. Now, I don't think just throwing more money at it is going to solve the problem. In fact, I think what we're asking public schools today to do is perhaps a lot larger than what we should have them focus on. They're doing many things that parents and churches, doctors, nurses should be doing, and we perhaps, for what we're expecting them to do, they aren't receiving enough funding. But if we do have a constitutional duty to provide that. And I do think we should move from a property tax system to a consumption tax, where the value of whatever is being taxed is determined by a free market, a willing buyer and a willing seller, and not a bureaucrat, and where you don't have to rent from the government to keep your personal inventories, your property, your house, etc. I think there's more and more support for that. With respect to providing for local schools and local services, I think a portion of the sales tax could go back to where you live, either on a voluntary basis or on a minimum basis. If we were to, say, buy something in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, a portion of it could come back here. That is, I think we need to stop doing some things that we're doing, and we need to do a better job with others.